Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I decided why not talk about what my plans for Samhain are. So this Samhain is a little bit different than previous ones. This is the first year that I am kind of really actually able to feel that balance between like the fun Halloween, your traditional kind of American Halloween, because apparently like other places do not celebrate it as hardcore as we do, which is just mind-blowing because you need that in your life. It's so much fun. The traditional like trick-or-treating and watching scary movies and, you know, going to costume parties and things like that. Like those are like the fun side, like the secular like Halloween thing that we do nowadays. And then you have the Samhain side, which to me has always been like the somber, like it needs to be mourning and sad and quiet, you know, having your silent supper. I don't like using the word dumb supper. I'm pretty sure that it's a derogatory term that has been used against the deaf and hard of hearing communities. And I've never really liked saying it, so silent suppers, if that's your thing. I've never liked it. And so because of that, I always really struggled with like trying to find the balance between these two sides of this one, you know, season. And, you know, it's supposed to be time for ancestor work and inner reflection, but then it's also the witch's new year and like a very witchy spooky season. And so, you know, it's also a time for conquering fear, and because I mean, obviously like that's one of the main things. We decorate with things that scare us. Death, monsters, gore, you know, like all of the spooky things. Like that's the point of this season, right? And so because of that, I've always really struggled finding the balance between these two. And this is the first year I'm kind of like understanding just mentally how they both fit together. And there's stuff that I would like to do this Samhain season, and I don't know that I'm going to do it all, but these are just some of the things I would like to do. So first of all, of course, this is one I've done every year since, I want to say like 2012, 2013 or something like that. It's been a while. Going close to 10 years now of doing this, where every year we go and we visit the family graves. Now it does have to be an official full day dedicated, so doing it on actual Samhain doesn't happen anymore because we still do trick-or-treating for the kids. And so, of course, we're not home when they're showing up, so we have moved it to a different day. But right around Samhain and Halloween, we go and we visit all of the family graves, which there's a lot, and more people keep dying, which adds more stops and more time. And so it needs a full day at this point, because we're driving from one valley through another to visit everyone. So it's a lot of driving, and it just takes a lot of time, and we have a lot of stops. And so sorry if this keeps coming in and out of focus. It really thinks that this is the central focus point, which is like, sure, but I'm also here. Thank you, camera. So I'm sorry if it like keeps blurring, because it really wants that to be the center focus. And of course, it's Halloween. I mentioned this. We're doing trick-or-treating. I made treat bags this year, and I'm trying to make Halloween fun for the neighborhood kids. I don't know that we're ever gonna have kids our own, so we're just trying to make it fun for them. We have different things in there, like we have pencils and stickers and glow sticks and like a couple toys and things, and then some candy. And I made a lot of them. I made like 200 bags. So I don't know that we're gonna get that many. You know, that's another thing that we're planning. We're gonna I don't know that we're gonna do a fire this year. We're thinking about bringing our electric fireplace onto our porch and just kind of having it like in our doorway, blasting some heat at us, because a lot of our decorations are very flammable, and so we're like, I don't know that we should do a fire. So we're not sure if we're gonna do an actual fire this year, if it's just gonna be our little electric one in the distance. But you know, while we're during trick-or-treating time, have that out. And then of course every Samhain I always watch The Tale of Albion, and it was gifted to me by a dear friend many years ago now. We watch it every year. It's kind of Halloween-ish. It's the most like pagan movie I think we own. And it was made in the UK. I'm pretty sure it was just kind of a small team that did it, but it's so much fun. I love it. So we watch that every year. Of course, we're gonna get pumpkins and do pumpkin carving. A lot of this is just kind of your generic standard Halloween shenanigans that you would do, but we're carving pumpkins. I don't know if I'm going to do a magically carved pumpkin or just for funsies out on the porch. Of course, you could always do a magical pumpkin and put it on your altar for a few days, and then obviously, if you're able to, go and don't use bleach or any of the other things to make it last longer. Keep it natural, and then you can give it back to nature without, you know, harming things in the process. Where my dad lives, he gets a number of wildlife, so we usually just take it up to his house after Halloween and then let the deer and turkeys and birds and all of the things just munch on it. It's usually gone within like half a day. So we just usually bag it all up and take it up there. Typically every Halloween I always dress up as the stereotypical witch. I don't know that I will this year, mostly because I didn't want to have to buy a plus-sized costume, because I was really struggling with that this year, and also finances are a thing and so they are expensive, and I'm not planning on being this size anymore. Doing a lot of, you know, watching what I eat and exercising and bringing my stress levels down, and so because of that, I didn't feel like going and buying a costume. I have plenty, but none of them fit. So what I did is kind of a makeshift costume that I feel more comfortable in this year. So it's actually this shirt that I'm wearing, which is, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus. You know, it's not like the most spooky. Some jeans and then just like a comfy shirt and blanket probably to keep me warm because it's gonna be cold. It's been frosting and a few days of snow this year, so it's gonna be a cold one. Not really planning on dressing up, but typically I do. And so yeah, this year I'm just like, For more witchy stuff, I am planning on working through the Inner Temple of Witchcraft. I'll be talking about that more on the Patreon video. I think by the time this goes up, that'll already be up, so my patrons probably already know what I'm talking about. I haven't recorded it yet, but it'll be coming. This is the first Samhain after a couple family members have passed away. We had 2 pass in this last year, and one passed away about a month ago, end of September, and it was not unexpected. We thought it would happen a long time ago, but you never know when you're gonna die from cancer. It can be a few months, it can be a few years, just whenever it happens. I'm still trying to process the one that happened last December, and so it's the first Samhain since he's passed, and so obviously like gonna do some shadow work and altar work with that. Death happens all year round, and for me, like, I would rather acknowledge my ancestors throughout like the main deaths that kind of happen, and then like Halloween is just like, you know, inviting the dead in and being like, hey, it's Halloween, we all know this is my season, so not gonna have the quiet dinner, but you know, set out a plate or light a candle or something for them. Just invite them in and be like, hey, it's Halloween, we know this is my time to shine, this is what I live for, and just invite them in and just have it be like you would if you invited the living family over. Have a nice dinner, planning on cooking a huge feast, and you know, pumpkin pie and pumpkin bread and like a casserole and different stuff. Obviously that'll be in the Patreon vlog where you get to see what I actually end up cooking, but for now, like, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna cook. You know, just inviting in the ancestors to just experience the day with you and like not be sad and like somber and like, oh, it's so quiet, we gotta be quiet with the ancestors. Like, no, like, we can just be with the ancestors, it's fine. Whether it's ancient or modern, like, it still counts. And I really don't think, at least my ancestors would not want us to be like having this somber, quiet moment. They hated those. Like, funerals and weddings was not their jam. They really didn't like the idea of people just sitting around and mourning. They hated that. So it's like, we're not gonna have that. It's gonna be just like, let's put on some spooky shows and just hang out at the house and, you know, have a candle and a little setup for all of our family who have passed away, and maybe do a little remembrance thing for those that we can't visit because they don't have a gravesite to go to, or we don't know where their ashes are going to be spread. Like my family member who just recently passed away, we have no idea what happened to the ashes at all. There was no obituary, no funeral, nothing. We just got, like, my dad called and was like, just so you know, that was it. My family member who passed away last December, we know, like, I was there, we spread the ashes as a family, and so, like, I'll visit that spot. But, yeah, so, anyways, that's just some of my Samhain plans. This was very rambly, but that's how most Samhains are, and most of the holidays, really. But this is also the year that I'm really trying to get back into feeling like myself and feeling like a witch and just kind of reclaiming that a bit, and I'll probably have a discussion about that as well on Patreon. Again, I think that'll be probably in the Inner Temple of Witchcraft discussion, just kind of, you know, that side of things. So if you want a little more behind the scenes, go support me on Patreon, and then of course you're supporting my dream of doing this full time. So Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and for my patron supporters, thank you so much. It really does make a difference. You encourage me to actually continue what I'm doing and do more, so thank you. And until next time, which is probably going to be after Samhain, so yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye.